Very good morning, dear children. Dear children, we started chapter 1 of civics that was on equality, and we discussed about what equality is, what are the key features of a democratic government. We talked about people participation, we talked about resolution of conflict, equality, and justice. And in this chapter, we talked about equality. We just saw the story of Kanta. How Kanta was a domestic worker, how in the morning she was treated equally when it was a line of vote, and after that, when it was a line of a hospital, how the Kanta was just unsure about the equality. Then, after that, in the next module, we talked about equal right to vote, a universal adult franchise. Fine. And then after that, we talked about other kinds of equality. Fine, in which we talked about the story, we discussed the story of Om Prakash Valmiki, then we discussed the story of Mr. and Mrs. Ansari's, how they both were treated unequally. Today, children, we are going to discuss the topic recognizing dignity. Fine. So, children, you have already understood by now that how caste in the caste in which we are born, the religion which we practice, the background, whether we are male or female, that is going to tell you whether you are going to be treated equally or unequally. Means if you are born in a high society, upper caste, nobody is going to treat you in a bad way. But if you are born in a Dalit family or a poor family, you have to face the discrimination. Same happened with Om Prakash Valmiki and Ansaris. They were treated unequally just because of the difference in their caste and religion. Om Prakash Valmiki was discriminated on the basis of caste because he belonged to a Dalit community, whereas the Ansaris were discriminated because of their religion, because they belong to Muslim religion. So that's why. Now, children, see what is dignity. When the persons are treated unequally, their dignity is violent. Means you are discriminating that person, the dignity of that person, the self esteem of that person, you can say, is violated. Fine. So, dignity, what is dignity? This refers to thinking of oneself and other persons as worthy of respect. Means we should pay respect to all. All are respectful. So their dignity is violating there. Fine. The dignity of both of them, Om Prakash Valmiki, the Ansaris, the dignity of them were violated just because they were treated in a way, because they were discriminated on the basis of their caste and religion. Fine. So how they were discriminated, you have already read both the stories. How the teachers were discriminating with Om Prakash Valmiki, how the Ansaris, the people were not paying, though they were not giving them the house on rent. Means, see children, when the self respect is most important. Everybody should take care of their own self respect as well as the self respect of others. Fine, we should not ill treat anyone. The constitution says that everybody's dignity should be maintained. Fine, recognized. Now, Om Prakash Valmiki and Ansaris, they do not. Do you think they were not? They did not deserve to be treated like this? No, they were not deserved to be treated like this. It was really bad that people have discriminated them in a very bad way. Now, children, see the next topic is equality in Indian democracy. You all know India is a democracy. India is a democratic country, which means government of the people, for the people, by the people, where people are at center. But children, what does the constitution says regarding this? The Indian constitution recognizes every person as equal. The constitution says that everybody is equal. What does it mean? This means that every individual in the country, including male and female persons from all castes, religions, tribes, educational and economic backgrounds, they are recognized as equal. Fine. This is not to say that inequality ceases to exist. Constitution has said, fine, but do you think that it's not happening? It's still happening, fine. But at least in a democratic country, the principle of equality of all persons is recognized. At least the constitution recognizes this, while those who are ill treated, discriminated, the law is there. Fine. Law is there in the Indian constitution to safeguard. Fine. There are provisions in the Indian constitution to safeguard the ill treatment of any people. If anybody's dignity is ill treated, the person can go to court. There are some laws. Children, see, this recognizes of equality includes some of the following provisions in the constitution. What are those provisions? First, that every person is equal before the law. The constitution says that everybody is equal. What does it mean? That every person, from the top person, means the first citizen of a country is a president. From the president to a domestic worker like Kanta, everybody is equal. Who's saying this? The constitution is saying this. No person can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, race, caste, place of birth. Male, female. No discrimination should be there. Who's saying this? The constitution. Third, every person has the access to all the public places, including playgrounds, hotels, shops, market. Any person can go anywhere. No discrimination should be based. Fine. Then the last one is all the persons can use publicly available wells, roads, bathing ghats, etc. Fine, which was untouchability. That there was a time when certain people, the untouchables, were not allowed to use the same well, was not allowed to cope up with the higher class people. So the constitution says that untouchability has been abolished. Fine. No person should do this, practice this. And there are certain laws. If anybody is practicing this, action can be taken on that person. Now, what does the government is doing for this? Is government doing anything special to make people equal? So, the two ways in which the government has tried to implement the equality that is guaranteed in the constitution is first through laws. There are some laws government has made for which the government wants to bring equality, and the second thing is government programs or schemes. You might have heard about different programs, different schemes, which are started by the government. Fine. Especially for the disadvantaged communities. So there are several laws which are protecting the person's right, and in addition to those laws, the government has set up several schemes just to improve the life of the communities, of the people, those who are untreated. So in the next module we are going to discuss about those. Thank you and have a nice day.